So ending violence against women is, of course, a fight for fundamental rights. In the quest for equality, freedom has another foundation, one that is just as essential. It's economic and financial empowerment. Without economic power, there is no real choice. And without women fully included and visible in the economy, there can be no lasting equality. And this is not just a matter of justice, but of progress for the entire society. So our next chapter is going to focus on conviction and on this conviction. On this topic, we'll be having two separate conversations, both led by the founder of the Women's Voices, Cynthia Illouz, who's a relentless advocate of women's rights. And for the first discussion, please join me in welcoming a global voice for financial empowerment and a leading advocate for women's economic independence, Tori Dunlap. So please join me in extending a very warm welcome to our next guests.
Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to be here with you today. I'm the founder of the media's The Women's Voices. Our objective is to amplify women's voices in the society, in the economy, in sport. It's a media outlet, it's a digital media outlet, and of course we have a lot of topics regarding the representation of women in business. But today, what is very interesting to explore is our financial freedom, because as Charlotte mentioned, we do need more money, and to have this great conversation, I'm very pleased to welcome Tori Dunlap. Tori, if you want to join me on stage. So, Tori Dunlap, you are an author, you are the founder of a wonderful initiative called Her First 100K. Tori, you are also the best-selling author of The Financial Feminists. It's a global platform. You will discuss this topic in a minute, of course. First question for you. I'd like to know about your personal story. You made your first 100K by 25. It's quite an incredible milestone. What gave you the courage to start for you and then to believe that you can share this experience with millions of women?
Je suis américain, je suis désolée. But I graduated university in 2016, which was the same year of the election, and I was coming into adulthood, but really into womanhood in a very different country than I think a lot of us expected, and a very different world than a lot of us expected. And so I was having a lot of conversations about the kind of woman I wanted to be and the kind of person I wanted to be and what I wanted to stand for. And I had a great financial education from my parents. I had parents who taught me how to manage money, how to save, how to figure out navigating credit and debt. And I thought that was normal. I thought that was what everybody had. And I realized very quickly that that wasn't the case. And so as I was building my own financial education, I realized that this was the part that I could contribute to. This is where I could use the education I had and the education I was building to help other women, because I was the friend all of my friends were coming to for financial guidance around money. And so in 2019, after running a blog for a couple years, I started Her First 100K. And since then, not only did I save my own 100K at 25, but we've helped over 5 million women globally be better with money. So I've helped them save, pay off debt, leave violent, abusive marriages. They've paid off their student loans. They've saved and gotten $50,000 raises, and it's my favorite thing to do is fight for women's financial rights.
And can you detail a little bit more about the contents of the platform?
Yeah. Our tagline is we fight the patriarchy by making women rich. And one of the best things, thank you, one of the best things I think we can do for moving the equality forward, for I don't think we have any sort of equality for any marginalized group until we have financial equality. And we will talk about anything before we'll talk about money. Sex, death, politics, religion, right? We will have any other uncomfortable conversation before we will discuss money. And it is actively holding us back. Both as women, if you are a member of another marginalized group, it is the best thing you can do is start talking about money, but also viewing money is as a form of options and freedom. I think we associate a lot of morality with money. We think that wanting to be rich, wanting to have money means that we're greedy or means that we are gauche or impolite, right? We're taught that talking about money is impolite, but that earning money or wanting more money is somehow impolite. And I am here to call absolute bullshit on that. I think it's really important to have the sort of disposition and the sort of mindset to say, no, I want to be rich, because nothing bad happens when women have money. Nothing bad happens when we talk about money, because when you have money, you have options. You have the ability to leave the toxic job or the toxic relationship. You have the ability to start a business. You have the ability to donate to causes you believe in and take care of your family. And so that's why we're here, fight the patriarchy to get rich.
Yes, you have this great expression about financial feminism, fighting the patriarchy. This is a really related topic for you, these two topics. Can you detail that?
Yeah, I think it's back to that money equaling options piece. And I think as well, we have a lot of conversations about how personal finance is this kind of niche issue. It's very specific, or it's something that you have to be good with math or be good with, have an economics degree. I studied theater, everybody. I majored in theater and communication in college. I didn't study finance, I didn't study business, and yet I'm a multimillionaire. And it's even saying that right on a stage, like saying how much money I have is a little crazy to some people. But that's what we're talking about here, is being comfortable earning money, being comfortable talking about money, but also understanding that it is not a niche issue. It is not something that you need to have a degree in order to be good at it, or need to be good with math or good with numbers. It is about your psychology, it is about your emotions, it is about the ability to know that, again, money equals options. So if you are someone who has convinced yourself that, I'm not born with the good with money gene, like I don't have it. Money is like a skill, just like anything else. If you want to learn a new language, if you want to learn an instrument, it's no different. It is a skill that takes a while to learn, and that skill is so necessary and so needed if we want to move feminism forward.
What are still the biggest challenges to achieve the true financial independence for women?
I mean, we have 3 minutes on the clock. How long do I have? I mean, I could go on for hours. I think, again, when women have money, they have options, right? And when women have that financial education, the whole world opens up to them, because they feel not only strong and powerful, but safe. They feel safe and they feel healthy. And so we're battling against every systemic issue when it comes to money. And especially in the United States, a lot of conversation about being good with money is about your own choices, right? We've heard if you're not rich, it's because you don't work hard enough. And we know that's not true. We know that there's many systemic barriers that have every reason to do with why women might not have financial freedom. And I think acknowledging that is really important, saying, okay, racism, sexism, ableism, homophobia, lack of, at least in the United States, paid family leave federally, a lot of other issues, globally, the violence against women, right? These are climate change. I could go on and on. There's a lot of issues that have much more to do with our lack of money or our lack of financial education than us not working hard. We are all working plenty hard. We need a system that continues to support us. And currently, there's a lot to be desired in that system.
If you have one or two advice for our audience today who want to take care more about their wealth and money, what would it be?
Talk about money. And I know you all just broke out in sweat and hives, and you're like, I don't want to do that. you have to talk about money. And it doesn't mean, you know, I'm putting a microphone to your face and asking you how much you earn every year, right? It's just like any vulnerable conversation, it means showing vulnerability first. So a conversation with money might be, you know, over wine or over dinner, just going, you know what, I'm really stressed about my money, or I'm in a lot of debt and I'm freaking out about it. And offering that vulnerability first, someone is going to match you in that vulnerability. Your friend, your partner, your coworker, but also celebrating. I got a raise at work, or I'm thinking about starting that business finally. Like, these are the kind of conversations that you can have that are not as intense as exactly how much money do you make every year. So I think talking about money is incredibly important, and it is one of the ways we destigmatize it, just like anything else, just like talking about politics or talking about sex. Like, we have to have a conversation about money. I would say the second thing is I need every woman in this room to want to be rich. And again, if that makes you uncomfortable, I ask you, who benefits from you feeling uncomfortable about that? You do not benefit. The system benefits. The system benefits if you do not pursue money. If you stay broke and unsafe and financially struggling, you do not benefit. Women do not benefit. The system benefits. So I need every single person in this room to want to get rich, because money means options. And I'm not talking Jeff Bezos level of rich, okay? I'm just talking enough money to have options, enough money to have choices, because women are more generous, women are more kind. Nothing bad happens when women have money. So if you've been feeling guilty about that pursuit of wealth, that pursuit of money, don't. It is one of your best tools. A financial education is your best form of protest.
Thank you so much, Tori Dunlap, the financial feminist. Let's all get rich. Thank you so much, Tori.
Thank you.
Thank you.